Hey you guys, Megan, lo- with love, Megan, episode 3. I watch, I watched it, so you don't have to. Okay, so boom, the opening scene says that she was like petting her dog or whatever, and then she was like, "My friend Roy is coming. He's a famous chef. I gotta have everything clean." And boom, I gotta make donuts. So she said this is like her officially first time making donuts, but she said she worked for like a donut shop and she made like one of those little bitty teeny teeny baby donuts or whatever. But so she used her, her handmade glad bag to make the donut spread, right? And so she puts the donuts in for 10 minutes and then they come out. Yeah, she puts the eatable flowers on the donut. I'm just like, girl, like everything you cook has to have flowers on it, literally. Child. And she was like, you just look so pretty. So, and then she's telling the camera people, Roy's a chef, Roy is this, Roy is that. We may not be friends right now, but we will become friends. So Roy comes over and he says he's a big fan of Megan. Child, I guess. And and so he eats the donut. He goes, "Oh, how pretty the donut!" Whatever. So you guys already know the gist. All right. So in the next scene, Roy gave her some directions to cook Brahmin chicken. So, she does everything he tells her to do. And then he was like, dude, you can make it like saute for like a couple hours or you can do it overnight. And then she was like, I'll just do it overnight. Just let it suck up the marinated sauce. So she does that. But as she's making it, you're supposed to pour beer in with the milk because so of the lactic acid. So as she's pouring the beer, she has like one beer left over. And so she hands the beers out to the camera people. I think that's kind of sweet. And so they go back to the scene. And then, so Roy starts explaining Bremen chicken, the beer and the milk, and why it's ancient and all this stuff, and why Koreans like it, right? And then now they start talking about clean hotel rooms. I I I didn't know people do this. This is my first time knowing that somebody actually cleans a hotel room. So I thought I was the only one who picks up my trash in a hotel, but nope, other people do. And then he asked her how long has she been gardening. Now, this is what I found strange about it because she just walked all the way around that question and she did not answer that. She just said that, oh my gosh, I had this teacher who showed me all about gardening and now I go outside and I plant and I do this and I do that. And I'm just like, girl, just give him a number. Like, why is it taking so long? Like, just like a whole skip of a dance. And now, so he's asking Megan if they would like to get, if she would like to get something out of the garden. So they walk out into the garden, and he makes jokes like, "Oh, I'll kill the garden because I'm not good with gardens, or whatever." And he was like, "Well, are you good with like how can I explain this? Like, If he has like a pineapple in his hand, he'll know like if the pineapple's good, if it has a soul, is it gonna die? Like he knows everything about the pineapple just by, the pineapple being in his hand. But Megan couldn't even explain it because it's not her garden. So she can't explain if the garden's gonna die or not, if it's in her hand, right? So they go to the garden and they pick strawberries and chilies. And Megan was like, "Oh my god, I had one yesterday, and it is so hot, really hot." And he was like, "I don't care, I'll eat it." And she was like, "Here you go." And he bit into it like it was nothing, honey. He was just eating it like it was a pickle, baby. And she goes, "Oh my god, is it hot?" And he's like, "Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm on fire." And Megan's like, "Oh my god, you need to stop playing." I'm like, that's a cute moment. So he wasn't phased by the chili anyway. So now he's teaching Megan how to cook. Yo, he's teaching Megan how to make Bremen chicken, some tiger sauce, some angel baby sauce, like all that Korean stuff, right? He's he's putting her to work. He said, "You need to hard chop this. You need to chop that. You need to put this in the blender. You need to put that in the blender." Boy, he had Megan's ass working, honey. Okay, so then they're like, and then he's like, "Oh my god, you got some nice knives." She's like, "Oh my god, thank you." And then so they make this thing. So they break the fourth wall to share it, with the camera people, right? So that's why they're breaking the fourth wall. And then they're like, "Oh, we're making cruddies, whatever." It's like some green dish. I just call it a lettuce dish. That's what it looks like. And then they talk about how the cultures clash when they're living in LA, how they would go to like her. She said her mom would go to a Korean spa. And then she was like, "Oh my god, I had like all these Korean friends." Girl, I guess, you know. And then like she said that Korean moms be like hamachachi, hama something, and it's called like stop it, don't do that, whatever. So I'm like, okay, Megan, look at you. So they're really vibing, and he was like, "Why didn't I meet you earlier?" Well, how long have they been friends? Because they haven't been friends long. Because they just getting to know each other over the show. It's like this is their first like their second time meeting, but actually getting to talk to each other and being like around each other. And it gave this show, this one, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, gave me a very authentic, genuine feel like, okay, they don't know each other. They're just getting to know each other because it wasn't a lot of fakeness there with him. And then so they high five each other. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make these sauces. Yeah." And so they make the chicken for the sauce. So they make three sauces, and then they're gonna fry the chicken. They put sparkling water in the batter, y'all. In the batter. I didn't know it would make it very crunchy. I learned something new. I'm learning something new with this making stuff. But I don't think I would do it. I personally, but maybe. And then so they go back to, I think is the day before Roy comes. right? The day before Roy comes. So she takes it out after it being fermented for about like overnight. And then she was like, I'm a, pre boil it. So, she's boiling the water. She puts the chicken in and then she takes the chicken out. And she was like, oh, this is a new way to cook chicken. I didn't know that. And then after she does that, she puts it right back in the refrigerator, right? Okay, so now we're coming back, right? So the scene goes back to the main kitchen. And like I said, they're putting, the sparkling water and all the batter. And then when everything was done, they were like spreading the mixtures on like the reach the 2 to 3 pieces of chicken they had on a plate. And then they put like watermelon. Oh, okay. No, 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 no. I'm going too fast. So Roy's talking about eating your own food all day. It's like kissing yourself. This man is like damn near 50. He looks like he's 50. I didn't get it because, honey, I like eating my own food and it's not like kissing myself. But okay. Because I guess he doesn't cook when he's at home. And then so they're frying the chicken in the pot instead of a skillet. And I'm like, I don't know if people do it that way. They probably do. But they weren't putting the chicken in like one whole big, you know, bunch. They were they're dividing it. So why didn't they just use a skillet if they're going to put six in a pot to fry it? Didn't make any sense. But I guess that's how some people cook them. Maybe it cooks faster. I don't know. And then so he was like, "You need to put that glaze on that." No. So she was like, "We need to get champagne." Because the champagne goes with the fried chicken. And I'm like, I guess I like me some soda pop with my fried chicken. And so they go cheers and they bump the glasses. And then they're like the glaze. So they're glazing the three chickens. And then they put strawberries on one because they fermented strawberries, cucumbers, and watermelon hamachi. And then so they put strawberries on one plate, the watermelon hamachi on another, another, and the no, it's not the cucumbers because those were like the pickles. It was some white one. I forgot what the name of it is, but I just say other. And then they're like, oh my God, we got so much food. We cannot eat it. So they break down the fourth wall and they just share it with uh, the camera crew. And so everybody's grabbing a plate. They're like, oh my God, yum, 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 yum. And that's how it ends. I like this one. I really did. And I hope, she has more guests that she barely don't even know come on the show. It's a real treat. I say it is.